Hello, hello, and welcome, my Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers. Welcome to our timeless work, career, and vocation reading. I am your reader, Venus in Libra, Mark Angela Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, 25 years in service at the time of this timeless recording, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. I mention it because it's in chakra chapters. There are chakras in this read, and there is a Kindle version that you can click on the link in the description box and preview the first chunk of it for free, including the table of contents showing you those chakra chapters and the different graces available in each. The original version, though, honestly, the Kindle version is lovely. It's clean, it's pristine, but it's not the Fellini visual film fest that is the original edition of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch on Patreon. Not all of my subscribers get that, but all of my subscribers get 3 benefits in common. They get the daily check-ins and unlisted YouTube live stream link from me pretty much every single morning, where they can chat with me about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, always ending with a prayer, a blessing, a little something, something to send us on our way, and creatively, most important way for me to start the day. They also get all the extended readings on the part 2s to the part 1s here on YouTube. They're all relationship based. We're talking to Libras here. Soul contracts and all of that. They're juggernauts, though, part 2, so all of my subscribers have access to that, as well as all of them get a significant discount on private sessions with me. We'll talk about it at the end of the video, but I love me some Patreon. We currently have 2 7-day free trials if you would like to check us out for free for a week. Seeker and Human, do check it out. I love Patreon so much, and honestly, Cardinal Air, Libra, creative air, very, very, very creative Venus. I put my heart into it, Venus in Libra, so you can tell. You probably feel the vibe. I love it so much over there. So come Patreon on Patreon. Because I'm the Archangel of Lions, Mark Angela Lyons. But you can call me Mal. Hi, my Libras. I'm loving this new music so much. Janet Grace keeps knocking it out of the park. I say, I need something for this. I give her an inspiration, and she comes up with something so very genius. So, enough about that. Let's get down to work, shall we? We'll do some explanation for the new Libras and Crosswatchers, and then we'll do the divination after. And if you've heard it already, jump ahead. I don't mind. So, hi, new Libras and Cross-Watchers. We're doing what's essentially called the 3 levels of power reading. There's a link in the description box by Carolyn Mace. That's MYSS. She's a PhD. These are her archetype cards talking about the 3 levels of power, 3 archetypal or symbolic lenses through which you can look at anything, pretty much, and break it down into 3 levels of power. She says eau de toilette, cologne, and perfume, right? 3 levels of strength of scent. Perfect for an air sign. I think that's a pretty good simile metaphor. I forget which way I phrased it. So that you can get some clarity on your life purpose. Great big huge life purpose, work, career, vocation, how you survive, how you create, and your spiritual calling, all brought together in one reading. There are 11 cards in this spread, 3 of these Caroline Mace archetype cards representing the archetypal pattern, the soul contract going on in the 8th chakra, work, career, and vocation. We'll then get 3 daughters of the Moon Tarot for the 4 chakras under that 8th chakra, the feminine, the yin-ternal, heart, third eye, crown dynamic, and then we will get 3 mythic tarot for those last 3 chakras, the lower 3 chakras, relationships in the physical world, relationship to yourself, outside in, looking at yourself, inside out, looking at people, places, and things. Once those chakras are laid out, we will get a whisper from the Whispers of Lord Ganesha by Angela Hartfield to help remove the obstacles in between lead and gold, symbolically speaking. Lead having 3 more atoms than gold on the periodic table of elements to release those 3 obstacles, metaphorically speaking. And we will end with a Matt Kahn healing mantra, particularly helpful, I would think, for cross-watchers. If there's some weird office politics going on, here's something you can do to deal with the one you are cross-watching for. But as you do this, you are bringing your own soul contracts to the forefront, alchemizing your shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fear to love, and all of that for all of the Libras, not just the one that you're cross-watching for, and myself again as a Venus and Libra. So thank you in advance. Otherwise, I love these reads. I've been doing chakra reads for 3 levels of power for a long time. I've been doing work, career, vocation reads, 3 levels of power for a very, very long time. So I could put a hell of a lot more on the table than I'm doing here. This is a brief version. So I guess that's about it, except to say it's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs. My Virgo sun tends to be more towards work. My Pisces moon tends to go more towards my vocation. And my Leo rising and Venus and Libra usually hang out around my career, my second level of power. So let's get down to it. I'm ready to rock and roll. I did some lovely breath work, took a little break, had a glass of organic lemonade, and I'm ready to rock and roll. So both feet on the floor if you can, focus on your breath if you will. I will do anything that I can within my power to help anybody become a happier, healthier, wealthier, wiser version of themselves in a more golden timeline than a leaded timeline, because as each and every one of us does that, it all gets a little bit easier for all of us as we are all one in truth. Whatever. So both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do my best to help you be the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wisest version of yourself, fulfilling your life purpose through work, career, vocation. Shall we? The shift from explanation to divination happens in the still point time and time again. Let's go there. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Oh, pantheonic override. Using the Caroline Myss archetype cards, I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs and our cross watchers. Watching this video, drawn to this reading, I need 3 Caroline Myss archetype cards indicating the soul power being alchemized from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy in their work, career, vocation. Let's start with work. First level of power, lower 3 chakra dominant, survival, intuition. How we survive in this world. What's the power that we are dealing with there? Sending down the codes to all the other chakras, shifting what we attract and what we repel, so we can have the opportunity to no longer delay that cannot be prevented in our life's journey, our life's purpose. What's going on in our career? Second level of power, heart, third eye crown, dominant, creative intuition, our hunger, our passion, our thirst for creativity, that internal vibe. What's going on? 8th chakra dominant in our vocation, our spiritual mystical power, our life calling, right? Our true vocation, which does change and evolve as we do. What's going on? 8th chakra dominant for the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Suns, and our cross watchers in our vocation. In this timeless work, career, vocation. Ooh, boy. Well, a lot of feminine energy in this one. I am so in. We've got a wild card family archetype of the Femme Fatale in our vocation. Now, Femme Fatale, the fatal female, think Morticia Adams, right? Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. You get the tea, the shade, and the pink lemonade on that. Wild card is not about biological gender. We got to get over that. It's wild card. It can show up in any way. I'll read what's on there in a bit. The goddess archetype, feminine family archetype for sure in our career. Talk about creativity. And the eternal child, the survival family archetype, the child, the victim, the saboteur, and the prostitute are the 4 survival archetypes. Everybody has those. Not everybody has the sub-pattern, though, of the eternal child. I do. You hear it. And regardless of sub-pattern, the child archetype is about safety and innocence, that ability to see things with fresh eyes, right? That faith, that trust, that hope. But this with the eternal, it's a little Peter Pan. So let's read these. Femme Fatale. In spiritual mystical life vocation, the shadow attribute written on the card represents the lead, the light attribute, the gold. Inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money and power. We've done it. Not so much spiritually, though, in my dating life. You know, you grow through that, right? At my age. The light attribute highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. And when you open your heart in that spiritual way, you connect to the goddess, the mother of all. Whew, that will heal your heart little by little. You think you could do it all at once, you can't. Because there's layers and layers and layers. And at the core of that is the divinity that we are, right? It is there. It is not gone. It is just obscured. So loving that, the goddess in our career, the shadow attribute, exploitation of the female nature and form. I'd rather be drawn and quartered, honestly, than do that, but the light attribute, the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. So we're definitely feeling a very similar vibe here with that feminine energy. But so here we've got the erotic energy of the feminine, and here we have the feminine expressed creativity through nature, life force, and sensuality. I like this. This feels kind of yummy. In our work, as I said, we have the eternal child, the shadow attribute, inability to grow up and be responsible, Peter Pan, extreme dependency on others for physical security. Yeah, I have the eternal child archetype. That's why the witch in me is so strong, to protect that child so I don't have to rely so much on others. Hey, we all are in this together, right? Pick up an oar, sister. We're all rowing the same boat. Determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit. Hello. Ability to see things with fresh eyes. That's me. That's me when I'm in that place, when I'm feeling safe. So we got a survival family archetype and the survival level of power, survival intuition. We'll get there with the lower three chakras. But let's look at the internal. The yin-ternal, the heart, throat, third eye, crown dynamic, because this is where we have the choice, throat chakra minimum, to heal what we can heal, alchemize or not, delay or not delay that which can't be prevented, because we just recontract if we didn't get the contract done. From what I understand, I was raised by lawyers, I'm not shocked. Please take a nice deep breath. We do the best we can. Still point. Goddesses override. As I call upon my beloved goddesses of air, the sign of Libra, and powers of the East, please, beloved goddesses of cardinal air, creative air, 3 cards face down for the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video, drawn to this reading. In our work, we've got the child, the eternal child archetype in the 8th. What's going on? Heart, throat, third eye, crown there. What's going on in our career with the goddess? I mean, very, very fertile, right? Very, very divine feminine, as divine feminine as you can get, the goddess. So what's going on? Heart, throat, third eye, crown in the goddess energy, the internal yin-ternal dominant, second level of power, and the Femme Fatale in... in our vocation. I mean, I can feel what that feels like to me. This feels like a lot of fun. So please, what's going on? Clarify. What's going on? Oh, I feel you. I feel which one. You're just sticking together. Come on, you can do it. No, we'll send you around. Choices. My goddesses, please. Femme Fatale. In the 8th, in our vocation, what do we need to be aware of? Heart, third eye, crown dynamic. For our vocation there in this timeless Work-Career-Vocation read. Oh. Wow. Okay. It's on my face, this reading, and I got this reading all over my face. Well, remember I said Femme Fatale, Morticia Adams, Elvira, Queen of the Dark. How about Hecate, the Scorpio card? In the myth in the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, the Scorpio card, fixed water, 8th house dynamic, other people's resources, mysticism, right? That kind of vibe. The Transformer ruled by the planet Scorpio, and of course you know what we know about Transformers. It's more than meets the eye, and so this is definitely heart chakra. Now if you don't have any planets in Scorpio, I mean I have Neptune in Scorpio, most Generation Xers do. That was fun. Woo! But Hecate is the crone at the crossroads, usually some decision going on, but fixed water, Scorpio water. So you know, you might have your little Scorpio tail up regardless of planets there, but certainly something emotional going on there. And I mean, the color scheme totally like fits with those cards. Where do you see this though? Your first of 2 major arcana cards, the Goddess. How about with the Empress, Mawu? Mawu, the Empress, the Divine Feminine. With, I'm going to say this is our leverage. Usually in these readings, one level of power has leverage. Talk about creativity. All of the fixed signs in the court cards, the queens, make up, so you have air, fire, water, earth queens that together come together as the Empress. Now look, I'm just going to say, the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality, I think we're there. So when it's a major arcana card in a chakra spread of this nature, it's usually all of those, right? But there's something going on here with the Femme Fatale and the Goddess, a really strong link there. So I'm going to say, if we're going to give the Scorpio card a chakra to be specific, heart, right? When your heart, what was this again? Opens your heart when your dependency is rejected, but this would be as an emotional focus on the heart and really feeling your femme fatale oats. Not a problem. Give me enough eyeliner and I will take over this world. Guyliner, Malliner. Eternal Child with Justice, Ma'at in our work. Another major arcana bringing all of those together, those 4 chakras into alignment, into balance for justice, Ma'at, the Egyptian goddess that meets you after death and weighs your heart. Again, I see a little bit of a thematic line through this, against a feather. If your heart is heavier than the feather, depending on your translation on the Egyptian Book of the Dead, you either get eaten by a demon or you just have to reincarnate. Obviously, I'm thinking I took the second option. But if your heart is equal to or lighter than the feather, you get to move on to the next world, and what I call the Isle of the Blessed. You go to the Elysian Fields in the Greek underworld 3 times. Oh, you did it 3 times. You get to go to the Isle of the Blessed and not have to reincarnate on this planet again. Other places, from what I've been told. Not that I remember. No tinfoil hat woo land for this Virgo with a Venus in Libra. No thanks. So look at the goddess power. I mean, granted, they're goddess decks, but you know, the Justice card usually has a female goddess figure in it, and the Empress certainly does. So to have these 3 on the table, Ma'at, Mawu, and Okante, that's a bit much. So what's this look like on the outside? Curious minds want to know. So let's find out. Oh, my internet's out. It doesn't matter. This is a digital camera. So let's get the lower 3 chakras. Outside, stepping out, looking at ourselves horizontally, or us from the inside, looking out at people, places, and things in our work, career, vocation. But remember, mirroring happens as well. Please take a nice deep breath. That Ma'at card there with the Eternal Child feels very powerful. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. God's override. As I call upon my beloved gods of air, the sign of Libra, powers of the East, gods of cardinal creative air, please, 3 cards face down for us Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video and drawn to this reading. What's going on outside in, inside out, lower 3 chakras for the Libras? Us Libras and our cross watchers, we got the Eternal Child in the 8th of our work with Ma'at, the Justice card. What's going on there? Goddess in our career, Mawu, the Empress on the inner, there we go. And Femme Fatale in our vocation, Scorpio, 8th house dynamic. Fixed water, the Crone of Blades, a Crone of Cups, Hecate, in this Timeless Work, Career, Vocation read. Well, that makes sense, and that makes sense. Okay, here we go. Vocation, Femme Fatale, Scorpio, the Hierophant. Thank you. Lower three chakras. This is now your third major arcana card here. Lower three chakras all united in a process of learning, of formalization, growth by growth, step by step. Maybe slow and steady wins the race. However, in the mythic tarot, based in Greek mythology, this is Chiron, the wounded healer. He's a centaur, cantor, I've heard it said both ways. And certainly it's an asteroid, right? It's in your chart. It's the wounded healer. So he is also the teacher and the trainer of heroes. Heracles, Achilles, a lot of them were under his tutelage. And very, very wise. And people don't, well, according to Madeline Miller in that amazing novel that she wrote called Circe, he lives in a cave of rose quartz, which says something to me about this healing of the heart that may be going on here. But it is a transformative one. It may not be easy. Your dependency may have been rejected in some way, shape, or form. So this is certainly, it could be about healing. Could also be about formalizing something, could be about formal study, but in a more mystical way. Now, again, that can be a healer, right? That could be a teacher looking out at people in your life, but regardless, you're in a stage of, major arcana cards are stages, places, as archetypally speaking, that you live in for a while, right? The set design, and then people come and go, and things come and go. People, places, and things. So, absolutely, this could be somebody in your life, as well as you could be this from the outside looking in at yourself, but it could also be you're in a time and in a place of building and growing and healing and transforming on the inner and just amping up that power of sensuality, which is magnetic, feminine. Masculine energy is electric. It's electromagnetic, right? Yeah, yang and yin. We've got the goddess here, with the goddess essentially, Mawu, the empress on the inner, with Zeus issuing the call with the Ace of Wands, the quest of the Golden Fleece, the call to the hero's journey, and inspiration. This could be coming to you or coming from you. Either way, it is phallic. So with all of this feminine energy that we've got going on here, there's something coming in from the outside that could be extremely creative, but now take care. Exploitation of the female nature and form. Look, I'm a gay man. I got very strong divine feminine energy in me. I do not exploit that, but I do not hide it either, right? It's finding that balance. Hey, there's my read for me. Just one example of what could be going on here. I love this reading. This is lovely. Particularly because when you see this, Eternal Child, Ma'at, Justice, Ace of Wands, the Aries card. Sorry, the King of Wands, because he's holding the Ace of Wands. The Aries card, the first sign in the zodiac, the child of the zodiac, right? Pisces is the elder, the 12th. Aries, first house, self, ego, personality, those things we develop as children. Cardinal fire, the opposite sign to cardinal air, Libra. This could be somebody. This could actually be a person, whether or not they are an Aries sun sign. Not everybody knows all their planets. I do. Look what I do for a living. I kind of sort of gotta. But definitely a creative impulse. And there we see a repetition here of this Ace of Wands here being presented here by the King of Wands, regardless of gender. So there could be a childlike innocence here, but one that is determined to stay young and current in its best, right? But keep an eye on that inability to grow up and be responsible. Because even if you're a very responsible adult, we all have that child within us. But you might be dealing with somebody who's being a little irresponsible. Or extreme dependency on others for physical security. Now, we do see dependency here twice, right? We see when your dependency is rejected, and here extreme dependency on others for physical security, which, you know, is in the physical world, which can absolutely be about money, can be about physical protection, right? Like somebody actually standing up and defending you in some way in the physical world, but a dependency upon that's tricky. So, interesting read. Interesting read. All the tarot is on the table. The chakras have been defined. 3 levels of power. Let's remove some obstacles. with the Hindu elephant-headed god of success, prosperity. Yes, these readings are about money as well. The remover of obstacles, Lord Ganesha, from the whispers of Lord Ganesha, those three atoms in between lead and gold on the periodic table of elements. Let's see what we need to remove them. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Ganesha override. It's not a command, it's a permission. Call upon. My beloved Lord Ganesha, God of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles, beloved one, please, what is your guidance, your grace, your wisdom, your power, your oracle message to help us, Libra Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and our cross watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, alchemize our shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, fear to love, removing those three obstacles, fulfilling our sacred contracts and our life purpose through work, career, and vocation in this timeless work, career, vocation. Read. Decision. Justice. Justice. This feels like a throat chakra, spit, swallow, or chew kind of thing. And ain't nothing wrong with choosing to chew. You can choose to chew on it for a little bit here. This is Ganesha holding Gada, G-A-D-A, his mace, M-A-C-E, not the herb or the spray, the weapon, although weapon spray, yeah, you do you. Card number 31. I forget, mace is the outer covering of something. I forget what. It's a good... What is it? Why can't I remember what that is? I was raised by a teacher. I used to know all the shits in the subconscious. Not relevant to the reading. Decision is, though. Please take a nice deep breath. Card number 31, decision. Consider all of your options to make an informed choice. That definitely feels like first level of power there in work, right? Totally getting that vibe there with Ma'a, right? To do it justly, to bring together the wisest third eye, most loving heart chakra, empowered, fair, balanced decision, throat chakra. What exactly do you want in this situation? Are you satisfied with the way things are moving in your life? Ganesha is guiding you to know that your desires are within your sights. Odds are in your favor. The decision that is before you is either sticking with what you know or breaking out and trying something new. Now, if that child does not feel safe, it's not going to want to do anything, right? No, right? So, something to think about there. This is a time for veering out into a new adventure or making a decision that deviates from your typical trend or habit. And do you see that in the Ace of Wands? It's like, woo, right? Woo, there it is. Some creative spark hits you from the outside. Ganesha will gift you with a greater understanding of who you are and what you are capable of creating. Now, I will say, got the Justice card. It is a Libra card there, so you probably being really truthful and authentic with how you feel as that eternal child will be really key. You have worked hard and really evolved through your life lessons. Get ready for a change. Motivate yourself by taking time to rejuvenate. Treat yourself to simple things that bring you joy. Discover new activities that take you away from your routine as you move through your day-to-day schedule in new ways. You create new thoughts. When Ganesha is holding the mace called Gada, G-A-D-A, he is challenging you to be more decisive. Once you start being more strong-minded, you will create the opportunity to reflect on your longer-term goals and desires. You'll then be in a better position to plan ahead and ensure you achieve those goals. You benefit now from a newfound sense of confidence and are ready for a major change. Now, if the goddess is pregnant, if Mawu is pregnant, I mean, she's giving birth to the child on the back of an elephant in this card, right? That could be the new thing that you are birthing with your creativity in your career, however you define that. You might consider traveling to exotic places, I wish. Further education or a major career change at this point, that might be what's being birthed here. This will expand your learning and development and grow your horizons beyond your immediate environment. With careful planning and a moderated approach, you will set yourself up for success now and moving forward in the future, right? That nice, stable goddess energy there, the Empress. all the fixed signs together, all the feminine, the queens of the tarot joining there with that strong phallic, let's call it what it is, initiatory Ace of Wands, which is also in the hand of the King of Wands. This is a cool read. Cool read. I do feel like your leverage, though, if it's not the goddess, it's definitely the Femme Fatale. Getting that together with Chiron, you'll make a wiser choice, a decision going on in your work and career by really getting into alignment and doing that process of the Hierophant and transform on the inner, because it's going to shift your internal dynamic with that Scorpio to be more magnetic. So it's not so much about doing as it is about, well, attracting, but being magnetic. I like it. Last card down. Healing Mantra card by Matt Kahn. Air signs have better luck with it, so I'm glad I have Venus and Libra, because these really touch the heart. If you know those, there are all sorts of ones in here, but I work them because they work. I've had this deck since it came out in 2018, and I have no regrets. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Ascended Masters override. As I call upon the Ascended Masters of the General Assembly, please, beloved ones, one card in clarity, the perfect healing mantra for the Libra Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers who are watching this video, drawn to this reading, the perfect healing mantra to help us alchemize our shadow to light, our lead to go, our pain to peace, our illusion, our truth, to truth, our fear to love, our poverty to prosperity, our hell to heaven, our perdition to paradise, fulfilling our life purposes in our work, career, vocation, in this timeless work, career, vocation read. Healing heartbreak, my heart will love again. Do we see the heart thread through this heartstring narrative that's going on here? Now, I will say, again, with the Libra card of justice here in work, I think finding that unity, that balance, that alignment within yourself. 7th house dynamic. 7th house Libra is about relationships. It's about relationships to another person, right? One-on-one relationships. That's why you'll see marriage and legal contracts, that kind of stuff. But it is also your relationship to your shadow self, the shadow attribute, the lead, which is not who we are, but it is the conditioning that we incarnated into in order to have the physical experience, right? The ego and all of that. So my heart will love again. The heart's nature is to love, but it is a decision to love. And I think this mantra is very much going to be a hard decision to commit to, because usually this one brings up the lead so that it can be alchemized. That's all lead is gold that has forgotten what it is, and it wants to remember. It wants to be gold, right? It's just the truth. It's like we all want to be the love, the truth of who we are, but for the fear in the way. Healing heartbreak, my heart will love again. When heartbreak is healed, you're able to learn and grow from each relationship, no matter who you believe is to blame. Now, that can absolutely be in business, right? We immediately jump to romance on that, and I get it, Libra. Totally get it. Aphrodite, sweet and flighty, running around her see-through nightie. I get it. But this can be about any kind of sort of loss that way, right? It can be loss of career, loss of inspiration, loss of a collaborator, loss of any kind. As heartbreak, as seen as life's way of breaking your heart open to expand the love you're able to give and receive, it becomes easier to pick up the pieces of your innocence and invite greater intimacy into your life, particularly intimacy with the divine. And don't mind if you fall apart. There's more room in a golden heart and a broken heart. That was cool, though. Wait, that's Carly Simon? Yeah, that's Carly Simon coming around again. Good song. This card is ideal for dealing with resentment, releasing the past, and healing grief. So this is childhood stuff. You know, the thing about inner child work is that it really does have a strong foundation in psychology. Homecoming, John Bradshaw, like back in the 80s and I think the 90s when he was on Oprah. And then over the 90s, it got made fun of so much that people like either stopped doing it or stopped talking about it. Shadow work, inner child work is a valid form of shadow work. Matt Kahn says, talk to your heart chakra. That's your inner child. And it works. but it's simple. It's not easy. So your heart will love again. I mean, it does make sense, right? Your dependency has been rejected, opening your heart, right? A dependence on others for physical survival, right? So for physical security. Oh, there is a difference between survival and security. That's very, very root chakra there. But, you know, if that King of Wands is somebody in your work life in some way, shape, or form, weigh it out. Feel it out on the inside. The impulse could be there. That Ace of Wands is dominant in the lower three chakras. Look at me covering my solar plexus, and I suggest you do check your solar plexus. Your solar plexus will tell you pretty immediately if you're about to violate your honor code, your boundaries, or someone else's, for that matter. But it does takes time to learn its language. Think about making your decisions not just from here, which is what air signs tend to do, but from here as well, right? So that you are in integrity, and that might very well be this process that you are in. Yeah, transforming from the inside out, healing your heart, healing your heartbreak. Your heart will love again. So, we'll put this together in what we call a blessimation over on Patreon, a combination of a blessing and a summation. That will complete the reading, though sometimes I chat a little bit about if they show me anything else at the end. But then we'll talk about readings and Patreon and all that cool stuff, and it's how I release the Zodiacal Collective. And we get to hear the cool music again. So, please take a nice deep breath. Last time. Still point. Pantheonic override. And here we go. Still point. As I call upon the beloved pantheons of the divine for us beloved Libra Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and our cross-watchers watching this video, drawing this reading, may we be blessed with all that we need to fulfill our life purpose, so that in our vocation, we can highlight our erotic energy of the feminine and open our hearts when our dependency has been rejected, and perhaps we've been hiding that, as Scorpio's energy will tend to do there. But there is a decision to be made. There is a crossroads here to transform or not transform, heal that heartbreak or not, and it is a slow and steady wins the race, step-by-step procedural process, maybe involving a healer, a healing practice. Maybe this is the Libra just taking that role for themselves and giving themselves the love that they need here by their own volition and decision, so that in our career we can embrace our feminine energy expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality, with Ma'u, the Empress, on the inner, uniting all of those chakras, but feeling a little heart chakra dominant there, that creativity and the love that is the divine power in the heart chakra, with a Ace of Wands. Swing! Something phallic and fiery shows up, an initiatory thing, maybe an inspiration, maybe a message, but definitely the beginning of a new cycle of fire. So maybe we'd be blessed with what we need to deal with that, so that in our work we can truly embrace the eternal child with a determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, with an ability to see things with fresh eyes in fair, sane, balanced, and just ways, with Ma'at, checking our heart here and there, feather, heavy, light, heavy, light, heavy, light, in terms of dealing with this Aries energy. Whether it's from the outside looking in at ourselves, and maybe we're being a little Aries Rammy, right? We're kind of doing all that as the eternal child, or maybe this is somebody who crosses our path who may be delivering this Ace of Wands to our career, maybe inspiring us, initiating us into a whole new thing. And it is our decision to get clear about what we want, because what we want is in sight. It's not that far away. But if there is emotional baggage, psychic weight, some pieces of the heart that need to be loved back into unison, then may we do so, because our hearts will love again. It is the nature of the divine, of unconditional love within us, that loves no matter what. But that doesn't mean we put up with toxic behavior. No, not even our own. So may we be blessed with all that we need by our own decision to heal, to learn, to grow, to evolve, to fulfill our life purpose, our work, career, vocation, to be the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wisest versions of ourselves, for the well-being of our loved ones, and for the well-being of this world, for the well-being of all. and with harm to none. As we will it, so let it be done. So mote it be, and so it is. Roar. Love that so much. And if you liked this reading, hit the thumbs up. Help other Libras and cross-watchers find it. That's what the thumbs up does. Subscribe if you want more, because I'm not stopping anytime soon. I love the YouTube work because it leads me back to Patreon, my favorite thing on earth. I love me some Patreon. Oh, all of my subscribers, you know, they get the daily check-ins, the extended readings, the extensive discount. We got Seeker, Human, Hero, Angel, Witch, Immortal, Mystic, God, Goddess is the top tier. They get everything. But Seeker and Human, as I said, have 7-day free trials right now. I don't know if I'm adding more. Those two feel good for the most. We're going to keep it there. And I love it. And if you are a creative type, I highly recommend becoming a creator on Patreon. So much creative freedom, no algorithms. You put something on a level of subscription, whoever subscribes to that gets all of it. And that's just the coolest thing ever. And if you want to book me for one of them, their private sessions, there's a video in the description box. Makes it easy, about 11 minutes, called Booking Private Sessions with Mal. Changed the prices at the 25th anniversary. It's also on my website, drawingthecircle.com. You'll see it at the top. It says store. Click on the store. It will take you to the store, believe it or not. And you'll see reading packages and spiritual counseling. It's all written down there in words. Whether I travel or you come to me, which I'm not really doing right now, Zoom record, right? Facebook Messenger, all of it is explained there, but I say over and over and over in the video because I mean it from the core of my being. I have never turned away, nor will I ever turn anybody away because of financial reasons. If I can't help them, I can't help them. That's a different story. That's an intuitive thing. You know, like ghost busting, not my thing anymore. I'm like, what used to be paranormal ain't so paranormal to me anymore, right? So I don't do that much. But spiritual counseling and readings I've been doing for a very long time. I've been reading tarot since I'm 12. I'm going to be 55 in September, Virgo, that I am. Yeah, I know, I don't look at things. Well, you know, a little La Mer, a little rapid wrinkle repair, a little Wim Hof breath, a little witchcraft goes a long way in my industry, apparently. So I'm here to help. Watch the video. It's a fun video. My mom loves it, so we're keeping it. Otherwise, hang in there, my beloved Libras. Come on. We're the Venus signs. I mean Taurus too, but you know we have way more fun, or at least we think we do, because we're air signs. So hang in there. I love you. You can do this. Just healing heartbreak, I mean, comes with, and it ain't much of a hero's journey without demons, dragons, villains, and vampires. Am I right? You know I'm right. So I love you. You can do this. Be the happiest, healthiest, wealthiest, wisest Libra that has ever been for all of us. I love you. Heal. Hail. Farewell. And blessed, blessed be.